Hey, welcome to the second course video for the song Paid My Dues by NF from his mixtape Clouds. I'm musically malnourished and you're on my journey to go deep and wide in discovering new music and artists. In these videos, we do a deep dive into the lyrics and meaning behind the music. So let's get in, see what Paid My Dues is all about. All right, Paid My Dues is a surprise single following NF's July 2019 album, The Search. On the track, NF talks about the critics bashing his album, The Search, his burdens, and internal battles. It continues the themes of The Search, being lost and looking for hope. Just hours before the release, NF posted a video on social media teasing the release at 1 p.m. Eastern. The initials for the song and the drawing of Nate's signature black smile were teased way back on December 14th of 2017. During the week ending December 2019, Paid My Dues debuted and peaked at number 1 on the iTunes chart, beating the likes of Blinding Lights by The Weeknd, Dance Monkey by Tones and I. It's the first time NF has held the number 1 song ever. That's actually pretty big. I mean, look at the names on this list. The Weeknd, Maroon 5. I mean, Dance Monkey was huge. For King and Country, Selena Gomez, Post Malone, Mariah Carey. Well, way to go, NF. The closest song before Paid My Dues was The Search, reaching number 5 spot. It was used in various advertisements for the championship game facing LSU against Clemson on ESPN. Man, I'll say this. It's in the music video is up over on Patreon. NF definitely writes a lot of music that seems to be picked up by professional sports, especially the NFL, which obviously is just the cinematic nature, the hype, the intensity fits those contexts really well. All right, verse 1. Clicks, clicks, clicks. They'll do anything to get a few. Tick, tick, tick. That's the sound before my head explodes. Quick, quick, quit. Look at you up on your pedestals. Quick, quick, quick. Here the critics come. It's time to go. I read your article. It kind of hurt me. I did read this article as well. I don't know who hired you or what your friends say in your circle, which I think it references the Rolling Stones article. But the fact that you released it tells me two things are for certain. They get paid for trashing people. I get paid because I stay working. Drop The Search and they emerge up out of nowhere to the surface just to peek behind the curtain, throwing salt at all my burdens. I'm aware I shouldn't give this my attention. Life's a journey. I should just stay on my path and learn to laugh. You think they heard me? Ears are burning. Put them out. Quiet, quiet. Look around. Which obviously is the idea that when your ears are burning is because somebody's talking about you. Why don't they find someone way more interesting to write about? I feel like this is kind of a sarcastic thing because it's the idea that people will say he's not interesting or he's boring, especially even in the article, that his music's kind of just this meandering self-pity with no real point. So it's almost like him saying, if that's the case and I'm not that important, why are you writing about me? Which is also then solidifying him as important, or at least someone worth writing about, talking about. Us, we're kind of boring, aren't we? All we do is whine and pout. Exactly. So that's what I was saying, because that's what the article said. It's confusing, so amusing how I argue with myself. Hello. I spit it with ease, so leave it to me. You doubt it, but you better believe. I'm on a rampage. Hit him with the record release. Depend on the week I'm probably going to have to achieve. Another goal. Let me go when I'm over the beat. I go into beast mode like I'm ready to feast. I'm fed up with these thieves trying to get me to bleed. They want to see me take an L. Yep, see what I mean? How many records I gotta give you to get with the program? Taken for granted, I'm about to give you the whole plan. Open your mind up and take a look at the blueprint. Debate if you gotta, but gotta hold it with both hands. To pick up the bars, you gotta be smart. Okay, this is you gotta hold it with both hands to pick up the bars, which I would imagine is probably a reference to like workout, holding a the heck do you call a barbell? So obviously to get a grasp on his bars, his lyricism, you got to hold it with both hands. You got to be smart. You really got to dig in your heart if you want to get to the root of an issue. Pursuing the mental can be dark and be difficult, but the payoff at the end of it can help you to get through it. This is interesting. Yeah. Pursuing the mental, or like getting to the root, digging, the payoff can help you get through it, which is an interesting concept. You know, I think that's the challenge a lot of times when we're going through difficult situations, is it's hard to know what the payoff can be. And it's kind of like, if you think of something like a marathon, a half marathon, anything like that, which I've run a few marathons, I've done a few ultra marathons, 50 miles and above. And the only thing that keeps you moving forward is that, well, especially when you're talking about like an ultra marathon, because unless you're an elite level, and even the elite people on certain really long races, they're not running the whole time, especially when you're going on inclines. A lot of them take place in the mountains. You're usually hiking those. And then when you hit the flats and the downhills, you're running. But along the way, especially in a 50-mile race, the first 50-mile race I did, I burned over 10,000 calories across 12 and a half hours. And so you have aid stations. It might be 5 miles, then 3 miles, then 6 miles. But at every aid station, you can refill your bottles that you're holding, that you got electrolytes and water. You generally have maybe gels or bars, other things, because you just have to be eating. It's like part race, part eating contest. But when you get to the aid stations, it's a moment to kind of pause. They usually have real food there. Like a lot of the races I've done, they're cooking like bacon, avocado, wraps, salted potatoes, just stuff to, keep the carbs and things like that in. But it's kind of that idea that like, okay, the aid station's just 5 miles ahead, just 5 more miles. And you keep that in mind, but with the end goal is like, there is a finish line. And my job today is just to get to the finish line. And that payoff is what keeps you moving. But I think a lot of times in life, in difficult situations, you don't really know the payoff. You don't know how long this is going to last. Nobody's saying, hey, just 5 more days and you'll be through it. But I think it's him understanding, like, I think there is some freedom, some growth, some help at the end of this thing. And so you can pursue the mental, even though it's dark and difficult, because you have an idea of what this payoff of peace or growth or whatever it might be. I paid my dues, made it through, spread the news, I'm on the loose, making moves, I need some room to make moves. Thought we's cool, well, don't assume. I'm the truth, oh, they want some proof. Here, don't be rude, something new, even when I lose, I make it look cool. Do the show, then we hit the room, wife is looking, oh, what to do? I don't need the shades up to like the view. NF's competitive nature is second to none, and Nate has confessed to being a perfectionist. During a live performance on January of 2018 in Alabama, NF forgot the lyrics to the second verse of his breakthrough single, Let You Down, but rather than stopping and restarting the song, NF miraculously saved the verse with a surprising freestyle. Interesting. How long is this video? Is it long enough to get me copyright? 15 seconds. I think we're going to do that. Wait, what the heck is this? Oh, hold on. I'm on an ad. All right, we'll let that play for a second. Oh, no, it's longer than that. Okay. I'll have to take a look at that. That's cool, man, to make a reference to that, though. Do the show, then we hit the room. Wife is looking, oh, what to do? I don't need the shades up to like the view. Verse 2, it's time to get back in the swing of things. When my life crashes, I'm not the guy that'll flee the scene. I'll take ownership and own it and raise my hand if it's me. Just remember, though, I'm only a man. I'm a human being. Don't they see? Shoot the breeze. I'd rather just stay discreet. People claim they're in your corner but leave you in times of need. They don't listen, do they? What? I love throwing that in there. They don't listen, do they? I'm sorry, what? They don't listen to anything. I'll accept advice if it's not presented ignorantly. Look, costs are high, they multiply. Then cause divides. I'm forced to fight. The poison I've been sipping on has quite the bite. It killed me twice. They rigged the lights so y'all can see the parts of mine that aren't so bright. See, I often apologize, then authorize the awful times. To pop up, Nate, like I'm right behind you. I'd advise you not to try to climb inside the mind like I do. Keep the rhyme book, expedite it, overnight it, hold it tight, and hope that time is on my side. Because if it's not, then I'll decide to override my own demise. I toe the line too close and I could improvise. I'd empathize, but recognize the fact that I could jeopardize and wreck our lives. You better give me your attention, the undivided. And then the repeating chorus. All right. Well, he obviously brought it with that one. That's awesome that it reached such success. And that closes out Clouds, the mixtape. I know there's Clouds, the edit. We're not necessarily going to do that because it's just a radio edit for the song. That means next we are on to our final album so far, which is Hope. Really looking forward to that because we already did Fear, the EP. That was kind of what introduced me to some extent to NF. So we started there and then I was like, well, let's go back and do the whole thing. So I'm really looking forward to Hope and how it kind of continues the story. May need to revisit. I probably will revisit Fear, not necessarily on the channel, but for myself with a little more context from having gone through his library up to this point. Let me know your thoughts on this one in the comments. Thanks for hanging out. Hope to see you over in... I hope to see you over in Hope. All right, we're eating good.